You are now tuned into FNL Radio.
Keep making noise! Keep making noise! Yeah!
Get ready for Real Talk Radio with DJ Dot. 3, 2, 1, go!
It's a Friday night anyways. Friday night.
It's Friday. You ain't got no job, and you ain't got shit to do.
Hey, what is up, everybody, and welcome to an all-new episode of FNL Radio. It's your boy Doc coming at you all live and direct here on June 20th, 2014, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the show. Now, we had to kick off the show with the new summertime. Summertime is starting tomorrow when it hits midnight at 6:51 a.m. to be exact, when it will be officially the summer weather, the summer season, people. So we have finally made it after the long winter, the heavy snows, the barely there spring. We are finally in the summer season, people. So let's give it a clap, clap, bravo, just for it being summertime already, people. But I got the show kicking off tonight. Now, waiting for Monique to see if she's going to call in tonight. So I may be holding it down solo for tonight. But if Monique doesn't call in, she's hearing FNL Spirit. So that's what it is. But right now, we got a lot of news for you all tonight. I got a lot to cover with you all, from everything from the Zendaya playing Aaliyah, Robin Thicke, who the hell is this Jeremy Meeks dude? We're going to talk about that. And also got some new music for you all for the night as well, some TV rundown news and things of that nature. So I got a lot to cover with you all for the night. But first off, let's just kick it off with how, what's been the biggest story of this week now. Zendaya, for those who's not familiar with Zendaya, she's one of those Disney kids. She was on the show Shake It Up. She released a dope album, that her self-titled debut album last year. She was on Dance with the Stars, and y'all have seen her all up and through the doc report. I've been giving her love and showing support and everything like that. From her music video to Replay, her video for My Baby with the remix to the joint with Bobby Brackens and Ty Dolla $ign. Also her Dominant Supply clothing line that she had at PacSun earlier this year. So I've definitely been showing a lot of support for Zendaya on the doc report. And she's got, we talked about it last week too, where we were saying that she was going to be, we said that someone else was going to be playing Aaliyah in the biopic that's supposed to be starting shooting next month. But now it's officially confirmed that it is going to be Zendaya that's going to be playing Aaliyah in the Lifetime biopic that's going to be on the network sometime next year. And just to give y'all a brief synopsis of this whole situation now, this is something I've been talking about on the doc report since, probably 2009, 2010. And y'all can check out some of the stories right now on the docreport.wordpress.com as well to get you updated on the latest news and information out there in the entertainment world. But this story that I've been talking about with the Aaliyah movie, I've been talking about it since 2009, around 2010, and we were trying to, figure out who was going to be playing Aaliyah. Now, a lot of people were saying that she would, that Keyshia Cole, who I thought was going to be, I announced that last week, but, finally had to, get some concrete information this week. But, players mess up too, it is what it is. But, anyways, but Keyshia Cole, she was originally tapped to play Aaliyah back in the day when the movie was supposed to be in production back in 2009, 2010. But it was a lot of this, that, and the back and forth going between the production company that was supposed to be doing the movie and the family. So it never was officially announced that the movie would be going into production because it was a lot of backtracking and a lot of delays. So the movie just went unnoticed for a long time. But now it seems like last year, no, not even last year, like the beginning of this year, and it was sometime around last year too, when there was a this mock image of a VH1 image for an Aaliyah biopic that came out, that was supposedly tweeted by Barry Hankerson, which is Aaliyah's uncle, former manager and former head of, he's still the head of, I would say former because no one is on that Blackground Records right now, so I'm going to say former. But anyways, he allegedly tweeted out a picture of the set, of the mock image of the promotional images for the Aaliyah biopic that was going to be on VH1, and this was following the TLC Crazy Sexy Cool movie. So it kind of made sense as to them picking that direction because of the fact that, you know, that movie was successful, and also, you know, it's about time for this Aaliyah movie because we've been talking about this for a long time. So, kicking off the story, tentatively titled Aaliyah, Princess of R&B, the film is based off Christopher Farley's best-selling biography, Aaliyah, More Than a Woman. It is being produced by Aaliyah Productions Incorporated with Howard Bronstein, who did The Informant, and Deborah Martin Chase, who did the Princess Diaries, serving as executive producers. Bradley Walsh from Turn the Beat Around will direct from a script written by Michael Elliott, who did Brown Sugar, which starred, you know, Sanaa Lathan, who we talked about last week, and Taye Diggs. And Zendaya tweeted out a little, you know, some support as well. She said, "She's been an inspiration and influence in my whole career. Her talent still shines brighter than ever. All I want to do is honor her." Tweeted Zendaya. She's how she show how much she accomplished in only 22 years. She's beautiful inside, and there will never be another Aaliyah. I just hope to share her beautiful story and make her proud up in heaven. And now also, you know, Lifetime is also in the biopic, you know, thing right now too, because they did that Elizabeth Taylor movie and that starred Lindsay Lohan, and now they get ready to do the Whitney Houston biopic directed by Angela Bassett starring Yaya DaCosta, which we also talked about last week as well. And I think this is fantastic news. I think it's a very great, you know, situation for this movie and for this whole, you know, for the fans. You know, we've been waiting for this for a very long time, you know, about, you know, when are we going to get some answers and to the questions we've been wanting to know for a long time, you know. And in this movie, I really want them to talk about everything. I want them to talk about, you know, the Aaliyah and R. Kelly getting married. I want to see how it was leaving one black record label to another, you know, because Background Records could never stay consistent with their record labels. You know, once she was on, you know, when the first album came out, they were on Jive Records because of R. Kelly. Second album, she was on Atlantic Records. Third album, she was on Virgin. The I Care For You compilation album was on Universal. So, you know, Background could not stay on one side of the fence at all. They hopped from one label to another. They were the thought equivalent to a record label, basically. They hopped around too much. And I could not understand how legitimate a company can be like that, and they still, it is what it is. So I just wanted to see that side. But if Barry Hanson has anything to do with it, I'm pretty sure we won't see that side of the movie. I also wanted to see the whole Rockefeller thing. You know, people were saying that, you know, she dated Jay Z, but then she also, you know, then she went to Dame Dash, and we know her and Dame Dash were in a very serious relationship to the point where they were almost going to get married and almost engaged and things like that. You know, once the Matrix movies were over, which Dame Dash announced following her death back in 2011. So I want to see their relationship. I wonder who's going to play Jay Z. I wonder who's going to play R. Kelly. I wonder who's going to play Missy. I wonder who's going to play, you know, Timbaland. Everybody that was around that whole situation. You know, Fatima Robinson. You know, I wonder if she's going to have anything to do with the movie as well, because, you know, she was Aaliyah's main choreographer for the longest time. So I wonder if she's going to have anything to do with that as well. But someone that's not very proud of this movie, or not having anything to do with this movie at all, is her family. Now, Aaliyah's family been trying to block this whole situation for a long time. They've been trying to block everything for a long time. And I'm talking about they've been trying to block the release of music. They've been trying to block the release of, you know, when Drake was trying to do that whole Aaliyah album on his OVO label with Noah 40 Shabib, they were blocking that. You know, they just caught blocking the whole situation. So, you know, with this Zendaya playing it, you know, Zendaya is 17 years old. So for her to play, you know, Aaliyah up until her 22 years of life, you know, that's kind of, you know, that's impressive, you know, especially because she has the chops. And a lot of people also, going back to Zendaya real quick before I get into what the family had to say, you know, Zendaya, she's been doing this for a long time, you know, so she was on Dance with the Stars, like I said. She can dance. If y'all seen her replay video, she can sing, you know, so she definitely has what it takes to be this role. And you know, people out there saying that she's not black enough, you know, she's not good enough, people starting online petitions and stuff like that. What's the purpose of doing that, everyone? Like, what is the purpose of really, you know, what's the purpose of just starting this petition and everything like that? It really doesn't make any sense to start a petition, because y'all not going to win anyways. I mean, they're going to go ahead full force with the movie. That's if they can, you know, get around this hurdle of, you know, Aaliyah's family. So Aaliyah's family, they released a statement saying, you know, they they basically went in. Basically, let me just go to what their read what their statement read. So, Aaliyah was more than a singer. She was and is still an American music icon whose legacy continues to live on and influence today's music culture, just as Ray Charles, Notorious B.I.G., Selena, and Johnny Cash. Considering the magnitude of her fans' affection alone, she deserves to have a tribute much more grand than the television network debut that won't even consider the perspectives of those who were closest to Aaliyah. Disregarding the families and dishonoring the legacies of celebrated figures who have passed on, big networks want to exploit their stories for a buck. We're here to make it clear that it's not okay. Lifetime television is trying to dictate the status of our heroes, our heroines, and in this case, our beloved Aaliyah. We implore everyone to call Lifetime Television, send emails, and bombard social media so they know we demand respect for our cultural icons. We will not sit idly by while they misrepresent and reap benefits from our luminaries. There is more at stake than the public could imagine. So they're trying to block the, threaten legal action against the network. They're saying that they're going to block the use of her music in the movie, And Wendy Williams said it best on her show too. We really, be honest, we don't need the music. Aaliyah's story was a story on its own because she was, a very quiet person. She was very shy. She wasn't, she wasn't very out there. She had a very, private side to her that, behind her shades, we really know what was going on unless she said it. So there wasn't really a lot of rumors about her up until the Rockefeller years and stuff like that. And one more thing too, I want to see the when the Aaliyah album when she was recording the Aaliyah album, how she was beefing with her, uncle, her cousin Joe Moore Hankerson and stuff like that, because she was boycotting them basically in protest because she wanted to do a different sound, and we saw that result on the album, on the Aaliyah album, where she had the rock 10 songs, the very earthy records and things like that. So I want to see that side of the movie too. But anyways, moving back to the family. Now, they talking about this. Now, I'm going to call a spade real quick. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm an Aaliyah fan. I love Aaliyah. I grew up on Aaliyah. I remember the day and everything from every Aaliyah moment, and also, from her untimely death back in 2011. I remember the date and everything. And, where I was and how I heard the news and, the whole situation surrounding that. But let's call it what it is. A biopic nowadays in theaters for a celebrity. Now, the Notorious movie, you would have thought that would be the biggest movie of all time because it's about the Notorious B.I.G., one of the most respected rappers of all time, even to this day. But his movie didn't really do good at the box office. And he had the support of, the producers for that movie and, the director and everybody. They had the support of his family doing that movie. But it still didn't do anything. Selena's movie, look at the box office scores. It didn't really do much as well. Take a look at who else they say, whoever else had biopics that came out. Ray Charles. Now Ray Charles was the exception because Ray Charles was a grand artist. Decades and decades and decades and decades. These few artists that they've been talking about that was represented in that, that statement, they really didn't have that much of a long, decade-long legacy to really say, okay, this is what I want, or, they just didn't have that. So for Aaliyah's family to put them in the same category as Ray Charles, it's kind of not the same. Even Liberace had to have his movie on HBO, but it was a great movie, though, and people won awards for that. And they just had to get into the tune that TV movies are the way to go because we want to sit down on social media, on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, talking about the movies like we did the TLC movie, and biggest movie premiere on VH1 network television movie of all time, basically. And we want to see things like that. We want to actually be able to sit at home now. No one really wants to go to the movies like that, especially for a biopic. Because it's going to be a lot of emotion to that, pertaining to certain artists, especially Aaliyah, because of how Aaliyah died. So it's a lot of emotion that goes into that, and we don't want to be in the movie theaters, feeling some kind of way. We want to be at home, in the comfort of our own zones. And so, I really want to see this movie be made. It's nothing wrong with showing Aaliyah's life in the positive light. Now, y'all can have something to do with it, but I'm pretty sure y'all been blocking this from the get-go. So Lifetime just went ahead and said, okay, let's do this. You know, it's not like how the TLC movie, how they had the